Just the way he said it, you know.
How did he say it?
Like we all have scar letters on our backs.
You seem like you'd be good at influencing people.
Everywhere you look, people are hooked on the things.
From the dystopian future of The Handmaid's Tale to Ben Affleck's Boston crime thriller, welcome to our series show where we're raking over the very best of the small screen. And for that, I'm joined by Dheepthika Laurent. Hi, Deepthi.
Hi, Olivia.
So we're starting with season 2 of the HBO drama Big Little Lies, and that is a very hotly awaited release.
It is. The Emmy award-winning show is actually based on Australian author Liane Moriarty's book about secrets boiling underneath the surface of these picture-perfect families in an affluent seaside community. The book is set in Australia, but the show is actually set in Monterey, California. It was actually ordered as a limited series by HBO, but after critical acclaim, showrunner David E. Kelly and Liane Moriarty have conceived this second season. So season 1 left our heroines Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and Shailene Woodley's characters implicated in the murder of a parent at a boozy school fundraiser. Season 2, it picks up really where it left off, depicting what they call, we saw earlier, the Monterey Five. That's those three characters, as well as Laura Dern and Zoe Kravitz's characters, who are dealing in very different ways with the aftermath of that murder.
Okay, well, it is an all-star cast. Let's take a look at a short clip.
I can just see the damage that's done, and it's eroding every single one of us.
My son is dead, and I want answers.
I gave you answers.
Yes, but you left some things out, didn't you? You were planning to leave him. And you learned of his infidelity just 10 seconds before he died.
So as you mentioned, this is the second season, and in your opinion, how does it hold up compared to the first one?
Look, it's not the same season. Season 1 had the benefit of the book. It had that narrative structure. It was quick-paced. It was full of suspense. Season 2 is slower. It's more character-driven, which makes it interesting. It's a little bit more retrospective as well. I like the fact that Season 2 gets to explore those secondary characters like Laura Dern's fantastic, domineering, sharp-tongued Renata and Zoe Klein's Bohemian Bonnie. They're great characters. Props also to the soundtrack. There are some amazing tunes, really soulful, breezy, mysterious tunes that really capture the sentiment of this show. We've got tunes from Sade, from PJ Harvey, and Martha Wainwright.
And I believe that there is a special appearance this time around. It is all about one person, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, Meryl Streep, she's deliciously evil as the matriarch, Mary Louise, who's in Monterey to investigate her son's murder. She's terrifying. She's wicked. She's got these biting one-liners, these passive-aggressive insults, and these deadpan expressions that you really think only Meryl Streep could do. Fun fact, Liane Moriarty actually created the character Mary Louise especially for Meryl Streep, because Mary Louise is actually Meryl Streep's real name.
Oh, fun fact. I didn't know that. Now, we're following up with another female-fronted Emmy Award-winning show, The Handmaid's Tale. Now, that's back for season 3 on Hulu, and I should imagine that it's as disquieting as ever.
It is. The Handmaid's Tale is based on Margaret Atwood's chilling book from 1985, set in a dystopian future, an oppressive theocracy in the community of Gilead. Women here are sex slaves whose sole purpose is reproduction. Season 2 ended where Atwood's book actually ended. Elizabeth Moss's Offred chooses to stay in Gilead to save her daughter, who was taken away from her. Season 3 is about the revolution. It's about the resistance movement, the network rebelling against the authoritarian regime. Take a look.
If I'm going to change things, I'm going to need allies. Allies with power.
Blessed be the fruit. Hi.
You seem like you'd be good at influencing people.
Nice girl like you in a place like this.
So this is supposed to be a fictional, futuristic show, but reality does seem to be catching up with The Handmaid's Tale.
And it has been actually ever since the show first aired. The Handmaid's Tale tackles issues like immigration, women's rights, and abortion rights. And as you said, there's been this sort of collision of fact and fiction with laws passed recently in U.S. states like Alabama restricting abortion. And actually in Alabama, we saw women dressing up in the handmaids' red robes and white bonnets to protest those strict anti-abortion laws.
Quite a chilling mirror there of the show. But going back to the fictional world of the series, what are your thoughts on this season?
Well, look, the first 2 seasons, again, had Margaret Atwood's book, so it had that narrative structure. Season 3 is completely off script, really. Look, the show is bleak. It's depressing. It always has been. What I like about season 3, or what I'm trying to like about it, is that there is this sense of hope. It's about the rebellion. It's the oppressed who are fighting back. You have these dual storylines where you have Moss's Offred fighting to reunite with her daughter. You have Alexis Bledel's character, Offglen, who's fighting for survival after escaping Gilead. You also have Serena, who's the commander's wife, who's joining the rebellion. So there's this powerful feminist uprising, which I find really interesting. The visuals are stunning in this show. You have these sepia and blue-toned shadows, these long sequences with little dialogue and elevating orchestral music that brings a lot of tension. And, Elizabeth Moss is just incredible as Offred. She's got this dead-eyed look, this fearlessness. And even if I'm not exactly a fan of the show, I think she's definitely worth watching.
Okay, so there might be a feminist light at the end of the tunnel in all that bleakness. We never know. Next, we're looking at another enduring favourite. It's in its 5th season, Black Mirror. Now, it's releasing its latest episodes on Netflix this month. It's a very short season, just 3 episodes, but they definitely look like they pack a lot of punches.
They do. It's a really, like you said, it's a tiny, minuscule season. Look, I was a huge fan of the first 2 seasons. A few episodes stand out for me, Olivia. The pilot episode, National Anthem with the pig and the British Prime Minister, was hard-hitting and unforgettable. There was also an episode called The Entire History of You, where we all had memory implants, which was really poignant too. Black Mirror for me is best when it has these unexpected endings. It uses comedic or tragic irony, or just goes to really dark places. Season 5 has a great cast. You have Andrew Scott, you have Topher Grace, who you remember from That 70s Show, Anthony Mackie, Miley Cyrus is also in one of the episodes. But I found the episodes were just a bit soft, really. This season lacks that magic. It lacks those cruel, ironic morals that leave you with a bitter taste in your mouth. It just really, more than anything, left me feeling a bit indifferent.
Okay. Well, we've spoken about lots of returning TV shows, but there is plenty that's new to come this month as well. Tell us more.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble this month picking our lineup for the show. There are just so many. June is brimming with rich new shows. They're all competing to, create a buzz and really fill the traditional summer void. Erin Ogunkaye takes a look.
They've been enemies for several thousand years. Now they have to work together to save the world from Armageddon. Given the task, they're of course not just any old enemies. One is a demon, the other an angel. The fantasy series is based on the best-selling collaborative novel by British authors Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. The producers didn't have to say much else to convince the actors they wanted to participate.
Normally with any casting process, you would say, can we have somebody like Michael Shane? Can we have somebody like David Tennant? Can we have somebody like John Hamm? Can we have somebody like Frances McDormand for the voice of God? Can we have somebody like Benedict Cumberbatch for the voice of Satan? But we actually just got all those people until they all came along and played with us.
From the end of the world to paradise, at least at first glance. In ABC's Grand Hotel, actress and producer Eva Longoria revisits the telenovela genre in Miami. The glitzy soap opera, based on a Spanish telenovela, tells the story of the last family-owned hotel in Miami Beach and all of the secrets, lies, and scandals that come with it.
Who you were in the park with?
Finally, Ava DuVernay's harrowing true crime drama, When They See Us, tells the story of the Central Park Five. 5 Black and Latino boys wrongly convicted and imprisoned for rape in the 80s. The show explores the flaws of the American justice system through a case which came to symbolize the effects of decades of institutionalized racism.
Now, Olivia, as proof of how hard-hitting that show has been, that last one, when they see us, Elizabeth Lederer, who was the lead prosecutor on that case, has actually resigned from Columbia Law School, where she was a lecturer after public outrage. Linda Fairstein, who ran the sex crimes department in the district attorney's office at the time, she actually became a crime novelist, and she was recently dropped by her publisher in the wake of that Netflix show.
Shows you just how powerful fictionalized series can be. Now, we're staying with real-life crime for this next show. Kevin Bacon is starring on the small screen in Showtime's City on a Hill. Tell us more.
So this is a show I'm really looking forward to. It's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's show. They go back to their roots, to Boston,
of course,
for this 90s crime drama. It seems like it's made in heaven for them. Produced by their company Pearl Street Films. So Kevin Bacon plays a corrupt FBI cop who teams up with a straight-laced assistant district attorney who's actually played by Aldous Hodge, who you might remember from Straight Outta Compton, in their pursuit of a family of car robbers. The two end up taking on something far more sinister, that's corruption in Boston PD. I've seen a few of the episodes. I really like what I see so far. This is a gritty, dark, violent show. It's authentically Bostonian. It's very true to the 90s, so it's great for nostalgia. And, you know, with Damon and Affleck producing and Kevin Bacon starring, there's a lot riding on this show.
Well, thank you very much for that roundup, Deepthi. And will City on a Hill live up to the expectations of critics and fans alike? You can judge for yourself. We'll leave you with a sneak peek of that show, which is out this month. Do remember you can get more arts and culture on our website, and you can keep up with Encore on our social media channels too. There's more news coming up on France 24 just after this.
Fellas.
And here comes trouble.
Crossy Ward, Jackie Roy, FBI. You mind if I call you D?
I have an arraignment.
Arraignment's what I want to talk to you about. Your suspect's an informant of mine. He's working a decent case.
You want me to let him off?
Is there a misunderstanding here?
No. See, I understand perfectly.
What are you, some kind of I got no love lost for the Boston Police Department, but there was a time when I would never have to explain myself. There's 100K in a bag and you turn it in with only 75. Doesn't mean you're a bad guy.